So this little video is all about pricking out some more seedlings. These ones are Celeriac and Celery, and they were both sown at the same time, 21st of March. They're quite tricky to germinate, and these have been sat in a greenhouse basically on heat, on a heat mat. Now they've germinated, they've come off the heat, and they're just sitting there waiting to be pricked out. The pricking out process is essentially, I've multi-sown these seeds. So you can see here there are quite a few seedlings in one. This is a 9cm pot, so there's a lot of seedlings there, and I'll be choosing the healthiest ones, and they'll be pricked out individually into these modules. This is a 60 cell tray from a company called Containerwise, and these will then hold the seedlings in individually till they're ready to plant out, which should be probably, I guess, in another month roughly. Right, I'm just going to turn the camera around and show you how I do that. So this is the module tray all filled with peat-free compost, and you can see I've pressed down the compost into the cells just to make sure it's nice and firm in there. So I'm just going to top fill those holes. I'm not going to pre-water it because when you're pricking out it's easier to deal with compost that's dry, and then what I'll do is I'll sit this in a gravel tray or a water tray, and then the water will soak up from the bottom. The pricking out seedlings that have been multi-sown like this is pretty much the same principle. You need to tip the whole thing upside down and then separate out the strongest seedlings. Again, I've said before, don't be too worried about them. They're quite robust. Obviously, don't handle the root if you don't have to. And you can see here, look at this lovely strong root growth. You can see it all the way from the top, all the way down the bottom. So that's a lovely long root. I don't even know if that's in focus, but hopefully you can see that. And then I'll show you how to pop them into the individual modules. So just break apart your, let's just see if that's actually in focus. That should be better. Break apart your pot that's got all these seedlings in, and you can see as you break apart, the roots aren't really damaged. You just sort of gently tease away the soil and just lay them down in the tray, and you'll be able to just handle them from there. So ideally you need to handle the seedlings from the top. Don't touch the, don't hold them by the roots, but just hold them by their leaves. So they're just all laying on their side. So just grab a seedling, a nice strong one, by its leaf. If you feel any resistance at all, just use something to prise away the soil from the bottom, as you can see I'm doing there, and then you can lift it up. You can see the root there doesn't harm it at all holding onto the leaf. And then we're going to pop a hole in the module tray. So I use this, which is a coffee stirrer. You will have seen me use that. It's my pricking out tool of choice. So hole in, pop the seedling in, and push the roots down. Next one. Same again, you can see that lovely root growth. Oh, there's one on the bottom there. There it is. So hole in. What I want to do is actually put half of this seed tray as celery and half of it as celeriac. These seedlings here are actually celeriac, but they can grow together quite happily. That's the celeriac all done, and then the other side will be the celery that I showed you earlier. So there we go, one tray of celery and celeriac seedlings, half and half. These will go inside the greenhouse and continue to grow on, not on any heat though, just as they are, and they should be ready to plant out, I guess, in about a month's time. The varieties are, I've got the celery is golden self-blanching, and the celeriac is called Giant Prague.